Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Ankita Goyal, and the title of my pre-paper presentation is Prediction of Visual Acuity in Patients of Acute Optic Neuritis in relation to segment of lesion. No financial interests are involved. We all know optic neuritis is an acute inflammatory condition of the optic nerve closely associated with the incidence of multiple sclerosis. Even if the visual acuity returns to 6 by 6, there are mild deficits in the other visual parameters too. Contrast enhanced MRI is a routine evaluation nowadays done, and it has very vital role as well. Few authors in their research work have observed that initial length and location of the lesion is associated with the degree of visual loss and might predict the visual outcomes too. So here comes the aim of the study, that is to study the relation of visual acuity with the segment of lesion on gadolinium enhanced contrast MRI in patients of acute optic neuritis. The study was conducted in central India for 2019 up to February 2020. And the inclusion criteria was all patients who were presenting with acute optic neuritis and willing to go for the contrast enhanced MRI. Any patient who was having a previous episode of acute optic neuritis and vision did not return 6 by 6, that was excluded, and non-arthritic cases were also excluded. The corticosteroid treatment, if it has been taken previously, then again the patient was not taken into the study. Comprehensive and the standardized ophthalmic examination was done. The visual acuity was noted down with the help of Snell's chart. And after that, the patients went for the contrast enhanced MRI. Visual acuity of more than 0.2 was considered good. The patients were followed up at 4 weeks interval and up to 12 weeks. So there were 3 consecutive follow-ups. The results that came out was total of 30 patients were taken into the study. More of female were there as compared to the males, that is 22 to 8. And the mean age of presentation was 37.63. The mean duration of complaints with which the patient came was around 10 days. And 2 patients were lost to follow up at around 8 weeks. So the MRI findings that we found here were that 30 eyes, that is 93.75% of the eyes, they all had a normal enhancement of the optic nerve. 2 cases were there that had bilateral optic neuritis, and based on the segments, intraorbital segment was the most common segment involved. We got 2 segments in each involvement, that is intraocular with intraorbital and intraorbital with canalicular. There was no singular segment involved here. And this is an MRI picture of a patient that was having bilateral optic neuritis, specifically in the canalicular. Some part of the intraorbital optic nerve was also involved. The visual acuity at baseline and follow-up, the presentation at presentation, the mean baseline visual acuity was recorded to be 0.97, and none of the MRI subcategories differed from each other significantly. When the subjects were followed up at 4 weeks, mean visual acuity was found to be 4.4. It was improved actually, and around 33% with intraocular involvement, only 6% with canalicular involvement had good visual acuity at first follow-up. On subsequent, that is second and third follow-up, we found that there was a similar significant difference between the two. That is, the canalicular portion did not, patients with canalicular portion did not improve much as compared to those that were having intraocular segment involvement. The mean visual acuity of the subjects at 12 weeks was with intraocular segment involvement was recorded to be 0.0, that was around 6.6 by 6, and with canalicular segment was still 0.6. Highest percentage of subjects that improved to good vision had intraorbital enhancement, but no significant association between the visual acuity could be derived. These are the mean visual acuities which were jotted down during at the baseline, at first follow-up, at second follow-up, and at third follow-up. We can see here that the improvement in cases of intraocular segments were much more, and intraorbital segments too improved, but those which were having canalicular and the intracranial portion involvement did not improve much. This is a table which shows the improvement, that is subjects in each group that were having improvement of more than 0.2 or less than 0.2, and it was found to be significantly better association of vision in patients with intraocular segment involvement as compared to those which are having the canalicular portion involvement. The discussion in our subjects, all the studies clinically diagnosed as cases of acute optic neuritis, the optic nerve enhancement of the affected portion was observed 93.75%, which was similar to that found by Cooper-Smith et al. And Hickman et al. The optic nerve was studied for segment enhancement, and intraocular with the intraorbital was the most common segment involved. Then at baseline, no significant association could be found between the segment of enhancement and the visual acuity, and the subjects with the canalicular segment did not improve much over 12-week course. In a study conducted by Dunker et al., intracanalicular lesions of optic nerve recovered incompletely or partially. This was a similar finding that we found in our study too. And however, there were a lot of limitations too, because the sample size was small, so the results could not be that generalized, and follow-up duration was 3 months. And since we lost 2 patients, so the results can vary according to that also. So we need more studies for that. These are the references. Thank you.
Dr. Ankita?
Yes, sir.
How do you differentiate because you were doing CEMRI, contrast enhanced?
Yes, sir, contrast enhanced MRI.
So how you differentiated intraocular and intraorbital segment involvement?
Sir, intraorbital and intraocular was basically on the clinical examination more. Yeah. If there was optic nerve head involvement, then on Qantas it was very well appreciated with the blurring of the margins of the optic nerve head and mild hyperemia.
No, you might be seeing papillitis.
Yes, sir, papillitis. Yeah. Yes, sir.
And then there was intraorbital enhancement on CMRI.
Yes, sir.
And then you considered it as intraocular plus intraorbital.
Yes,
I think I'm getting it right.
Yes, sir.
Because on contrast enhancement, you cannot differentiate intraocular and
intraocular portion. Yes, sir. It's not.
Yeah. Explanation, did you look at the cause for the optic neuritis? I mean, were there any atypical? Because I noticed that some patients presented after 20 days.
Yes, ma'am.
And ideally, typical optic neuritis starts improving in 2 weeks.
Yes,
so obviously you had some atypical ones. They are unlikely to improve as well as a typical optic neuritis. That's one.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
and even the cause, if you have optic neuritis secondary to MS, or idiopathic versus the other, MOG and aquaporin antibodies positive, those are less likely to improve. And yes, as you rightly said that your duration was too short because, if it was a little longer, maybe everyone would have sort of more or less had the same outcome. Can't say, it could be
yes, ma'am,
a little more useful. But anyway, it's a good thought that you had.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any bilateral? Sorry, please go ahead.
Doctor, I would like to ask one question. Your study period was during this COVID. All the patients were tested for COVID or not?
Sir, the study actually started in 2019. February. So at that time, we got lots of patients of optic neuritis, especially in the rainy season too. So we were able to follow up them. But yes, after 2020 January, as soon as January started, we definitely didn't go forward with the study much. The patients were not coming.
My question was, if you had
yes, sir,
patients with COVID.
Yes, sir.
Positive. Can there be any difference in outcome or presentation?
Presentations are definitely in COVID patients. We get more of the occlusion patients. These could be the artery occlusion patients, or they that is with presenting with retinitis too. And here the patients that is during the COVID era, yes, we have to get it tested for COVID too. But the association of neuritis, optic neuritis with COVID has not been that established till now. So more of the patients of CRAO we were able to found.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any bilateral cases or pediatric optic neuropathy in your series?
Sir, bilateral cases, 2 pediatric bilateral cases were there. We went for the CSF examination, but yes, we were the patients, and also we do not have the aquaporin testing facilities at our institute. So we could not find out the etiology for that. So that was a problem. Otherwise, we followed the children up, but yes, improvement was not good in those times.
Okay, thank you.